So, have you ever looked at two conferences that seem almost identical on paper, but their price tags are just worlds apart? It's a great question. One's a steal, the other's a major investment. Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the strategic art of pricing for what we in the industry call MICE. That's meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibitions. And let me tell you, this is exactly how the best hotels really distinguish themselves.
Hello, and a very warm welcome to all of you. You can think of me as your dedicated hotel AI expert. I've spent years deep in modern hospitality operations, and I've seen it firsthand. Mastering MICE pricing isn't just a skill. It can literally define a venue's entire success story. So to all the students of Europe Hotel School joining us, it's a pleasure to have you on this online learning journey. Think of me as your guide as we dig into the strategies that are going to fuel your professional growth in this amazing industry of ours.
All right, so here's a quick look at our roadmap for today. First up, we're going to talk about why pricing is this fascinating mix of art and science. Then we'll jump right into a really powerful strategy called value-based selling. After that, we'll get super practical about how you can actually communicate your value, build that all-important trust through transparency, and finally, we'll wrap it all up by showing you how to build a winning strategy for long-term success. Sound good? Let's get started.
Okay, so first things first, let's tackle the big challenge right out of the gate. You know, getting MICE pricing right isn't as simple as just plugging numbers into a spreadsheet and calling it a day. It's really more of a delicate dance, a balance between the hard data on one side and your strategic gut feeling on the other. And if you get that balance wrong, well, you could be leaving a ton of money on the table, or worse, you could price yourself completely out of the market.
And this slide, it really shows you the two sides of that pricing coin perfectly. On the left, you've got the science part. This is all the tangible stuff, the cold, hard facts. We're talking operational costs, how many staff you'll need, what the market data says, and of course, what your competitors are up to. But then, look over on the right. That's the art. This is the stuff that's harder to quantify, but just as important. What does the client really value? What kind of impact will this event have on their brand? And what is that unique experience that only you can deliver?
So what's the big takeaway from all this? It's pretty simple, really. The data, the science, it gives you the map. But it's your strategic judgment, the art, that's actually driving the car. And believe me, the most successful people in our industry, they are absolute masters at using both of those things to their advantage every single time.
Okay, so now that we've got a handle on this art and science balance, how do we actually put it into action? Well, let's look at a modern strategy that really brings them together. It's called value-based selling. And at its core, this is all about shifting the entire conversation away from just how much does it cost to what is this truly worth?
Here's a good way to think about it. You're not just selling a ballroom, right? You're selling a solution to their problem. You're not just providing food and beverage, you're delivering an experience people will talk about for years. Value-based selling means you focus on the why behind the client's decision, the incredible results and outcomes you're going to help them get, instead of just focusing on the list of items on an invoice.
And why does this matter so much? Because honestly, competing on price alone is a losing game. It's a race to the bottom, a battle where nobody really wins. It doesn't just chip away at your profits, it actually cripples your ability to deliver the kind of high-quality, innovative events that your clients want in the first place.
Okay, so we know value-based selling is the strategy, but how do you actually do it? Well, it all kicks off with what we call deep discovery. That means you've got to do your homework and really understand what value even means to this specific client. Because trust me, it is different for every single one.
Look, your clients are never just buying a room with a projector. They're investing in results. They're looking for real, tangible outcomes. Things like making sure every attendee leaves happy and inspired, or getting a serious boost to their brand's visibility. Maybe it's all about strengthening their industry reputation or helping their team build powerful new connections. Your job, your real job, is to connect the dots between what you offer and these specific goals they have.
This right here, this is how you change the game. You stop presenting a proposal that looks like a laundry list of expenses. Instead, you frame it as a strategic investment. Think about it. That expensive, top-of-the-line AV setup, that's not just a line item. No way. It's an investment in making sure their message lands with impact, that their brand looks amazing, and that the event is truly unforgettable.
But let's be really clear about something. A value-based strategy is completely useless if it's not built on a foundation of trust. It just won't work. And to build that trust, you absolutely need two things, two non-negotiables: total transparency and a truly collaborative spirit.
So take a look at this. This lays out the ideal way to negotiate.
And the key thing to see here is that it's a cycle, it's a loop, it's not a battle. It all starts with you understanding what the client is trying to achieve. Then you explain exactly how your plan gets them there. Now, if things need to change, and they often do, the next step is to work together to tweak the scope, but in a way that still protects that core value. And when you do it this way, well, that's how you go from a simple transaction to a real long-term partnership.
And what does true transparency really mean? It's not just about showing the math. It's about building confidence. When you take the time to explain the why behind the numbers, the staffing required, the tricky logistics, that specialized tech they need, you're doing so much more than just justifying a cost. You're proving your expertise. You're showing them that they're in safe hands, and that is how you earn their trust.
All right, so we've covered a lot. We've talked about the art and science of pricing, the incredible power of value-based selling, and why trust and transparency are so crucial. So for our final section, let's bring it all home. Let's see how all these pieces fit together to drive the thing that matters most, long-term, sustainable success.
Let me share a hard truth that every great hotel leader has to learn, usually the hard way. Not all business is good business. Yeah, winning a deal at a rock-bottom price might feel good for a second, gives you a quick win. But if you have to cut corners to make it happen, if you deliver an experience that's just meh, you're doing long-term damage to your reputation, and that will absolutely hurt your bottom line down the road. And this chart right here tells that story perfectly. Just look at that bar on the left. That's the profit from one single low-margin event. It's okay, but it's finite. It ends. Now look at the bar on the right. That represents the massive, compounding value you get from a long-term, loyal client relationship. So the choice is yours, really. You can chase the short-term cash, or you can invest in the partnership that pays you back again and again and again for years. I think we all know which one is the smarter play.
And you know what? This idea is more critical right now than it has ever been. Our industry is constantly changing. We're seeing more hybrid events, huge demands for sustainability, and all kinds of new tech. For you, this is a golden opportunity. You can be the expert, the forward-thinking partner who helps clients figure all this stuff out. And in doing so, you're turning these new challenges into brand new sources of value.
So as you get ready to step into leadership roles in this fantastic industry, I want to leave you with one final thought. Pricing is never just a number on a page. It's a statement. It's a direct reflection of your brand, of your commitment to being the best, and of how dedicated you are to making your clients successful. So the real question I have for you is this: how are you going to build value that goes far, far beyond the price tag?